Well, this is quite a fitting sticker. What's going on, everybody? It is mail time. Well, I guess every day is usually mail time, but usually it's a medical bill or something. Anyway, things have been going great. We have Kylo Ren systems sold. We also sold quite a few game listings and the Gloss White Slim, which sold Friday night. And normally I would have gotten it out Saturday. Today is Monday. However, when I was packing up the Kylo Ren build, I only had one power supply left for the Slim. I still feel like I have another one somewhere, but yeah, that's not good because we still have R2-D2 and the Gloss White Slim. So I found a nice little bundle deal. It included two Slim power supplies, a 120 watt and a 135, or 125 and 135 watt. So technically one for Trinity, one for Corona, which is perfect. And it even came with an extra Xbox One power supply, which normally I wouldn't need, but since we're working on this water-cooled Xbox One that was completely covered in every nook and cranny with like smoke residue and dust and all kinds of stuff, we still have it on the board in those spots. I haven't gotten that far. But the power supply as well, which was completely packed full, and I'm assuming the inside is quite nasty as well. But this other one that we picked up, it's a little dusty, still needs to be wiped down on the outside, but in terms of everything else, looks like some dust there. It does appear to be in much better condition. We'll have to verify that when we get it cleaned up, but it most certainly does not smell at all, which is a great plus. So if everything looks good here, we'll probably just go ahead and swap these. One little problem with the lot that we picked up is that there is no power cables, and it looks like this other one here is pretty dirty as well. But I'm going to go ahead and keep this one, the 135 watt. I always usually keep the higher watt ones for testing, because then they work on anything. But I did order, obviously, a bundle of these kind of cables. I do have some, but they're for the fat, and I don't want to mix the gray and black. But I do need to finally get this guy wrapped up and shipped out today. And so what we're going to do is, technically I stole the cable off of the Xbox One here and just completely cleaned it up, put some actual isopropyl alcohol, and then some regular cleaner to get all that grime off of there, and it was like brand new. So I'm going to go ahead and include that one. It's the same cable with this setup here, and then when we get our new bundles in, we'll have some brand new ones we will include with this. One other little thing is I ordered a cable, and this is what I got, even though it's not what I ordered. I wanted an original replacement Microsoft OEM power cable for the original power bricks that were 3-prong and had the little safety notch on there, so you can't plug any of them in unless it has this exact notch on there. And this guy advertised it as a genuine Microsoft gray 3-prong original cable, and this is what he sent me. Yeah. Although this could technically work, I'm definitely not a fan of not having the ground on here like it's supposed to. And yeah, I definitely paid a little bit more to get a genuine one, and I could have got a cable like this for a couple bucks anywhere locally, to be honest. So we'll see what they say about that. Next up, some decals I forgot I even ordered. This was like an auction at like 70 cents or something. So some more Grand Theft Auto decals. Whether we put them on here or just maybe include them with that build. We have what should be a fully tested, working motherboard, Xenon motherboard with a BenQ disk drive, which is or daughter board, which is why we painted this BenQ drive. And it's just a bare motherboard with the bare daughter board for the DVD drive. So we didn't have to worry about, opening it up and going, oh no, what's inside. It was a bare board, you can see on the photo. And I verified with him, sort of. He said he would check after work and never really did, so I put an offer in, and I don't know, I bought it anyway. So yeah, Xenon board, let's open this up. I'm going to tear this guy down, put that board in, and pretty much have this totally done. The Gloss White Slim is on its way to its new home, and while packaging that up, I actually sold the green Supreme wireless shell. And I do still have the yellow one. It did not sell. I just took the listing down because I had unfortunately dropped it, and I need to take it apart to figure out, I think it's just the back button. It seems like the rubber piece behind there shifted or something. Everything else seems okay. It still turns on and works, but didn't want to sell it that way, so let's go ahead and get this eBay box opened up and then get this thing taken apart. So first up, we got our daughter board for the BenQ DVD drive. Everything's looking pretty good. Actually, it looks like we left a good amount of wire on there, kind of sticking off, but get that cleaned up. All the ribbon cable connections look good. Board's pretty clean. And let's look at our motherboard. No bulging caps. Everything looks pretty good. Didn't include cables, I didn't even notice. Looks like we do still need to actually go in and kind of do a little more detail cleaning, but overall it's pretty clean and nice shape. That's pretty dirty. Still got some old thermal grease there on the chips. So we'll go ahead and get everything cleaned up, get all this cleaned up. Alright, got the stuff cleaned out these two disk drives, even though I kind of am placing all my bets on this one. It just looked better on the inside. The belt seemed to kind of refurbish really nicely. So I put the shell on this one, but we're going to test both and see which one opens and closes good. So now, let's go ahead and tear the shell off of this one, at least get it down to where we can take the DVD drive out. And we're just going to put these in even though they don't have the right board in yet. Just want to test them, throw in a DVD, make sure they open and close. And if everything's good there, we'll finish tearing it all the way down and throw the new stuff in. It's all over the place today, but tested it downstairs as I thought. This one kind of sucks, and I really think that's a light-on drive. There's stickers over it. But, I mean, it's a BenQ drive, but this top shell I think is from a light-on, and they're just so slightly different. But anyway, the other one seemed to open and close just fine, and I couldn't quite hear the disc loading up, but the downstairs TV only has HDMI, so I couldn't actually plug it in. But everything seems okay for now. I want to get this together so I can get that tested. So let's finish tearing this all the way down. Now we gotta pop these heat sinks off, and clearly from that angle you could see they're pretty dirty. Got the heat sinks dusted off there. Got them on the new motherboard here. You can see no leaky caps. So let's go ahead and get it in the metal frame and basically get it back to where we had it before. Got it most of the way back together, at least enough to fire it up, test our DVD drive more, make sure this board actually turns on. Don't know why I'm so nervous about this board. Hey. Uh-oh. Fans are ramping up there. Let's try that one more time. I think something was up with one of the heat sinks. Let's see. Nope. Still ramping up. Wouldn't be surprised if it's a crappy board, but I guess we'll double check the heat sinks again. You can hear them going up. Good news is disk drive is good. But that's not good. I probably shouldn't have said that I had a bad feeling about this board, but it looked like one of the screws on the X-clamp was like possibly stripped or kind of cross-threaded a little bit, and I thought that couldn't be the case because we just had those on the other board and they were just fine, but I may have swapped them with one of the ones on this ring of light board, and I know one of those was kind of weird, so nope, here they go. to the drawing board. I am back. Took a quick hiatus. Kind of set this aside, tried to get some other stuff done. And then, you know what, for the heck of it, I brought it downstairs and said, let's plug it into the other power supply just to see what happens. And literally just plugged it in here on the downstairs television. Well, it wasn't plugged in to the TV, just the power supply that happens to be down there. Turned it on, everything seemed fine. So I'm like, oh, it's the power supply. You know, it obviously was flashing the red lights because of the video cable, but the fans stayed fine. They weren't ramping up. So I brought that power supply up here, went to actually plug it in and make sure everything was good now, and it did it again. So clearly it has to do with this being plugged in. As soon as you do that, and it tells the GPU, hey, do your boot up sequence, something's fishy there. So, although I hate ending videos on stuff like this stuff does happen. And you know what? Things have been going pretty well with the last few builds in terms of getting stuff finished up, listed, and sold. So, hey, I guess I can't complain. So I'll have to go through a little troubleshoot sequence on this. Like I said, try different heat sinks, maybe different bolts, X clamps, just see something. If nothing works, then we will just have to kind of let it overheat and see what code it throws. But yeah, still a roller coaster of emotions because I thought it was just a power supply and I was excited to get up here and throw it all together. But it looks like we got to take it back apart, and it sounds like he may have tested it. He said he tested it with heat sinks on. There's probably a chance he didn't test it with the video cable and just saw it wasn't flashing a code and said tested and working, which honestly I think you should list that kind of stuff as boots up or powers on at least. I would say tested and working means like you went through and tested the USB ports, you know, you tested video, gameplay, all that kind of stuff. So we'll put that one aside until the next video on the Grand Theft Auto 5 build, and I got some other stuff to focus on in the meantime to get finished up anyway. And then hopefully we get something figured out with that and get that one finished up. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Please don't like, comment, or subscribe.